Hello everyone, how are you guys today? Happy 4th of July weekend. You guys are live here on the Redesign with Prima page with Brushed by Brandy. My name is Brandy. Are we live? Yes, we are live. Okay, I can't see, there's a glare on my screen. I'm outside, but it's a beautiful weekend. And I wanted to show you a little project that I'm working on with my kiddos and talk to you guys about some things that I'm teaching my kids about the Redesign with Prima products that I thought was pretty applicable. And then also show you guys, we all have our kids at home, right? We're all teaching from home, school's out, it's summer break, who knows if they're gonna be going back on time. And I love that my Redesign and my Dixie Belle products are all safe to use with my kiddos. So I wanna show you a couple family-friendly things that we're working on today. So my son, this is my oldest son, this is my 12-year-old Noah. Hi. Say hi to Noah. I have no comments. Let me see. My neighbor's rooster is going. Yeah. We're sitting in front of our RV. We have a table outside in our yard under the oak trees. So Noah, why don't you talk a little bit about your project? This is your project. What did you start with?
So I started doing this project.
Talk to the camera.
I started doing this project with a few pieces of pallet wood and then a wood burner, and I started doing the outline of the stars, the lines for the American flag, and the box for the blue. And so what we've done now is we've gone over with transfers and started painting.
Sit still. Okay, so Noah has an interest in woodworking. We talked a lot about hobbies and children's hobbies, walking through Hobby Lobby with him, and he chose woodworking as something that interests him. And so we had a pallet in our yard. We just built our home. We have a pallet. Hi, Diana. And so Noah went out with his hammer and he took apart a pallet. And this is what he made. He's got pallet boards here. And he started out by burning the lines with a wood burning tool for around the flag. And then we took a Redesign with Prima transfer and I cut it up, but my kids applied all this transfer pieces. So I cut it into stripes for them, and then they went through and they applied the transfer pieces. So what me and Noah are working on today is Noah is putting on the stars, and what he's using for his stars, try to get you guys out of the shadows. Those chickens, my neighbor got chicks recently. One of them's a rooster. So what he's using is the Redesign with Prima chalk paste, and the chalk paste is really nice for stenciling because it gives you a really clean line. So I'm going to come over here and let you guys watch Noah do a few stencils. So he's just using a really inexpensive paper stencil. And then he's using the Redesign with Prima Art Basics stencil brushes. So he's actually doing a second coat because we found it looks a little bit better with a really pure white on it. So Noah is 12, but we had my younger kids out here doing, why don't you use a different star on there?
Yeah.
So this is a paper stencil and it's not very high quality, so I figure it's going to be a throwaway when we're done. You can't really clean it. So he's just rotating it as he goes through. These are not a 5-point star. What are they? Like a 12-point star, but this was the only star stencil I had. This transfer here is a blue version of the algae transfer. And this one is the Maisie and Willow line. It's also by Redesign with Prima, but it's the Maisie and Willow line. And then they've got the same one in red in the Redesign line. So this is all done with transfer. So he's rotating the star to match the shape that he's got. I cannot see the screen.
How?
Can you see it? I
yes,
can't see
I
it.
can see it.
Are you on it?
Yeah, I'm on it. Rotate your device. Okay. Hold on.
There we go. Oh, did it give a message to rotate it?
Mm-hmm.
So what I thought was important out of this to show you guys is that there are projects, whether you're a retailer and you run a shop, there are tons of projects that you can introduce that are children friendly. And with kids being home right now from school, this is a great way that they can get this is a really more decorative look than he would have been able to get with basic children's art supplies. But the ReDesign line is really friendly to children too. My 9-year-old helped him put all these transfers on. So they were out here together. This has kept them busy for hours. And it's basically an old pallet board. We will attach them from the back once it's all done. And then he wants to hang it in the yard, which we've told him he could. Maybe from either our fence or one of our trees. Oh. This has also given us a chance to talk about symbolism with the American flag, with the stars and the stripes, the layout of the flag he's learned. Would you say this is an easy project? Okay, so that one he kind of messed up, so he's just going to wipe it back. Now, he's painting on top of a transfer. You can paint over the ReDesign transfers. So he's adding a design over the top of the ReDesign transfer with a stencil. So this is an American flag design, but it could easily be a damask pattern or you know, a more intricate stencil over the top of a transfer can be really pretty. The ReDesign chalk pastes are nice for stenciling because they're thicker. They are a paste, and so they don't bleed under your stencil as easily as a paint does. We're out here outside, and so our materials are drying much faster than they usually do when you're inside. I'll try to get Noah on there. I cannot see my camera at all. There's a really big glare. Yeah, Diana, it's been a great project for them. So it's kept them really busy. They've learned a lot. They've learned a lot about art supplies, about art design, measuring, about precision. They've learned. So another thing we tried, you want to grab the stamp that we made? The apple?
Oh, yeah.
So we tried first, it's been in the sun a little bit, but we took a apple and we cut a star out of the apple, and we practiced, so it would be a potato stamp, only I didn't have a potato large enough, so we did it out of an apple. And my kids were playing with the apple stamp, also using the chalk paste too. And we were stamping stars. We liked this design a little bit better, so we tried a couple different designs. But potato stamps are a really basic children's art project. And dip them into a little bit of your chalk paste, and they can do stamping projects. These are all things most of us have at home, potatoes or apples. So Haley says that looks fabulous. Well done, Noah.
Thanks.
Best wishes from the UK. So she's in Europe. So then what we're doing is we're taking a little bit of our Dixie Belle paint. I apologize for the shadows from the oak trees, you guys. And I'm whitewashing the lines here on our flag. So let me set you guys down, and you guys can watch me and Noah work for a little bit. If you can see us okay. I have to keep asking Noah if we can see ourselves on camera, because I can't see it.
I can see
okay.
My shirt.
So what I'm doing for my stripes here is I am taking a little bit of my Dixie Belle paint. This is Dixie Belle cotton. I also have one of the Art Basics brushes. These are their stencil brushes. These are my favorite stencil brushes. They're natural bristle. It's also what Noah's using. They wash really well. They make stenciling really easy. So we just have raw wood under the white, and I'm just doing a whitewash just to add some contrast between the transfer, the red in the transfer, and then the yellow color in the palette wood. So what I'm doing for my color wash of my white is I'm wetting my wood, working that white paint in. Now I'm getting it onto my transfer. Let me show you how easy it is to wipe the paint off my transfer. So while that's still wet, I just will take a baby wipe, just a regular Pampers baby wipe. You guys can't even see where I'm working, huh? Where's my hand? Here's my hand. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I can just come back and wipe it right off of my transfer. So the wet paint comes off the transfer really easily. And then I've got a really clean line in between my whitewashed wood and my transfer. Noah's going to do a few more of his stencils. Man, I cannot see anything.
Mom, it's way over here.
All right, so I'm going to keep whitewashing my wood, and I'll let Noah keep going on his stencils. So how do you feel like it's turning out? You like how it's turning out?
Yeah.
Do you like it better with the transfer, or do you think it would look better with paint?
It would look better with the transfer.
Yeah, the transfer. I let Noah choose. He's made the design decisions on this so far. So, if you're a homeschooling parent, this for a second. This is a great project that's a lesson on the American flag. We have a helicopter going overhead. Hi, Joy. Do the paste dry permanent. So it's going to dry like a chalk paint would. It's going to dry. I'm going to rub one here. It doesn't rub off the transfer. Now we are going to clear coat this. I am going to put a coat of Dixie Belle Gator Hide on this because we plan to keep it outside. I will clear coat this before we hang it. But they dry just like your paint would. So it's going on right over the transfer. But I love the paste for stenciling. Hands down, they make stenciling so much easier. He's not using a stencil adhesive or anything, and he's got nice, crisp, clean lines on a 12-point star, which is a really detailed stencil to be doing. And he's got, you know, nice definition in his stars. So, did you already redo this line?
No.
Okay. So
I've done the 3 lines for.
Okay. So slow down a little bit because that one's a little bit blurry.
I just did that one.
So while the chalk paste is fresh, like this star right here, he's not happy with. It's a little bit blurry. So we just took it off with a baby wipe, and then he can come back and redo that particular star to make the lines cleaner. So it's also really forgiving while he learns how to use the products. We can wipe it off while it's fresh before it's dried. Michelle says, great flag, Noah. As a military member serving overseas, I appreciate the artistry. Happy Independence Day. Michelle, happy Independence Day to you too, and thank you so much for your service. We celebrate all of our military on the 4th. So we will be at home thinking of you guys, especially serving overseas.
The water. Can I have the water?
Yep. So the chalk pastes are water-based also. So for example, he just got a little bit of chalk paste. It was from the back of his stencil, and he got it onto one of his stripes. So he's adding a little bit of water, and then he can wipe that little mistake away. Valeraine says, great work, Noah.
Thanks.
He's also chewing a piece of gum. We might be in the preteen stage. Can you hand me the water? Mm-hmm. So the water, I'm using it to make a whitewash on my wood. I'm going to lower you guys down. So I'm just taking a little bit of water, spray that, working the paint into my wood. This is a whitewash on, this is a pine palette. This was a palette that we had from, oh gosh, I don't even remember. Tile, I think we got shipped to our house when we were building.
I think that's the tile.
And so this is an old pine palette that we didn't need anymore. And we told Noah he could have at it and do whatever he wanted. He chose the American flag design. I need someone to tell me at what age do roosters learn to only crow like at certain times of the day? Because our neighbor's new rooster crows all day. Is that normal?
Non-stop.
Yeah. I'm curious how long our neighbor will have a rooster. I don't know how long he's gonna last because he has a roommate and she's a nurse, our neighbor, and I don't know how much she's gonna like roosters crowing all day long. So then I'm just taking with my baby wipe and I'm wiping back away. The little bit of paint from on top of my transfer. So you can also do a color wash on top of a transfer if you want to tone the colors down, get a little more custom look. I will also sometimes paint over the edges of my transfer if I want to blend it in to the piece around it. But aside from, you know, technical, I don't know, over-involved techniques with these, I mainly just wanted to show you that these products are really family friendly. And to take it down and do simple projects with the kiddos sometimes is really nice. I think this would be a great workshop. I think this would be a great children's workshop. Letting them put a small transfer on. It doesn't even have to be the American flag, although I feel like this was a great homeschool project. I'm not a homeschooler. Hi, Barbara. Plus, we are out here. It's a beautiful weekend. We have tons of sun in California. Can't really go anywhere. So, picking a project that takes my kiddos a few hours to do when we're all stuck at home has been a nice relief. They'll just go out here and just work on this without even my involvement. And then because it's Noah's design, he can take it any direction he wants. Noah's not a big talker, you might have noticed.
Yeah.
What are you really good at though, Boo? Who really loves you?
What? All right, yeah, my cat.
We call Noah the animal whisperer. There's something about animals that just sense when you have a really gentle spirit. And animals are drawn to Noah. We joke that he's like a Disney princess. He loves me saying that. No, when they sing in the forest and all the animals gather around, that's Noah. Animals are just drawn to him. They know he's got a really gentle spirit. And it's really cool to see. He also has a really great work ethic, which is really cool to see, in that he will sit down, and he worked on this the other night when you were using your wood burning tool. He sat out here until it was dark at night.
It was 10?
With a headlamp on. We're out in our front yard with a headlamp on, and he was just burning the lines into this wood. So all I've really helped them with so far is I cut the transfer. I did measure out the stars just so we had our placement even. But other than that, this is very much my kids' project. I will post pictures when we're done, and I'm going to claim it as a project. But it's very much my children's project. And this will be something that we will keep in the yard. Another thing this would be cool on is we've actually made pallet Christmas trees. Have you guys seen? They're in the workshop. We've made.
They were behind it.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
We've made the pallet board Christmas trees, and this would be a fun way with the transfers and the chalk paste stenciling to decorate pallet board Christmas trees and put them all over the yard. That's a really inexpensive Christmas decoration. So I'm doing a whitewash on my wood, and I'm letting it get up onto my transfer, and then I'm just coming back and I'm cleaning off the edges of my transfer just using a baby wipe. You can paint right onto the ReDesign transfers. I just want to keep my stripes fairly clean. Do you need help measuring them out?
No, I got it.
So he's getting ready to start a new line with his stars. He went back and did 2 coats on each one. And now he's going to start a new line of stars. So how many rows of stars? Talk about the rows that of the stars on the flag that you've learned.
So on the flag, there's the first row I did was 6 down, and then the next row I did was 5. And then I just kept repeating that until I get to my 50 stars.
So it alternates rows of 6 and 5. He's learned that. And then how many stripes?
There's the 13 stripes.
The 13 stripes. Do you know what they stand for?
The 13 states.
The 13 original colonies of the United States. So he's learned a lot about, yes, the 13 original colonies of the United States. There was 13 colonies when they first started the United States. So at the same time, he's learning, as we get into the 4th of July, a lot about the layout of the American flag. The stars and stripes count. Of course, you know what the stars mean, right? What do the stars stand for?
50 states.
1 for each of our 50 states. Alternating rows of 5 and 6. So you have
5 rows of 6 and 4 rows of 5.
Yeah. Which totals
20. Yeah, makes 50.
So if you guys are working on any family projects as we go into the weekend of the 4th, post them on the ReDesign with Prima page. We would love to see whether they're patriotic or just family spending time together for the holiday weekend. My husband has the day off. He's taken my other 2 kids to go run errands right now so that I have time with just Noah that we're using to do crafting together. Looking great. Cheryl says, looking great. Barbara says, looks fabulous. Where will it be? Where will you be displaying your creativity? Where do you plan to put this?
Probably on the tree right there.
Okay, so we live on 5 acres, and driving up our driveway, we have a center row of 3 trees that line our driveway. And he's thinking he would like to hang this on the center trees as you're driving up our driveway. So we're also adding our flagpole to our property soon. We were out with Sean last night talking about where we want to place it. So a couple things on this right here I'll show you. If I can point my camera down a little bit. The top edge of this we will trim. So we did go ahead and leave a little bit of excess wood, and we measured out. So we'll trim this top edge just by sawing it off. This bottom is okay, but over here some of the boards are left long. So we will trim the bottom of those boards, and then we'll attach them all from behind. I think we're getting an Amazon delivery right now.
Who knows? Mysteries of Amazon.
Oh, you know what I ordered? I ordered an umbrella for the pool.
An umbrella? That's so amazing. I really need that.
So Noah is my most even-tempered child. He has the most patience for doing projects like this. I'm going to move the lid to my paint. But you can see over here. I'll take him over here. Let me go grab my delivery, my Amazon delivery. Thank you for telling me training. Happy 4th.
You too.
That's not an umbrella.
What's that?
That's not an umbrella. That's way too
No, that's my
tiny.
Kohl's delivery.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, so let's see. Can you guys see what it's looking like? Noah. Chewing on a piece of gum.
Yep.
Doing some stenciling.
Why is she working?
She probably sees a deer. So what do you guys have planned for the 4th? I would love to hear what everybody's doing this weekend. Let's get Noah's face in there with our kayaks behind him.
Oh.
Okay, these are done.
Those are all done.
So I'm going to come over here.
I'm running out.
I'm going to give Noah a refill on some chalk paste. We're working out in the sun and our products do tend to dry a little bit quicker. So I'm just giving him a little glob in the lid that he can work with and then refilling that as it dries. So with everything on here, what I've done is I've gone through and showed them, given them a basic like little mini class. So I stenciled the first row of stars so he could see. And then after that I can set him free. And I did the first couple stencils and then I can set him free. So he's gotten little mini classes along the way. I'm just doing the whitewash on the wood, but this is absolutely something that the kids could do too. You can go, I know locally, there's a whole lot of shops, stores that get shipments and they place their pallets out behind the store and they get thrown away. And so if I need one, we happen to have some here, but if you need a pallet, you can go into a lot of these stores and say, hey, can I take that pallet that's out back? And most of them will let you take the pallets. They don't want them. They have to throw them away anyways. Some places do recycle their pallets, so you do want to ask first. But this is just old pallet wood. We had a tile shipment for our master bathroom tile, and we had the pallet left over. Ginger is out back barking. I'm assuming she sees a deer or something that she wants to be friends with, but she's leashed up so she cannot be friends with them. And she's not having it right now. She wants to be friends with the deer, but the deer do not want to be friends with her. It is not mutual. Abu.
Yeah.
She chases after them. She'd never hurt them. I don't know what she'd do if she actually got to one.
They always end up getting away.
Yeah, the deer are much faster than her, so the deer get away. But she wants to play with them so bad. So Noah is stenciling with the ReDesign chalk paste, the 50 stars. I'm whitewashing onto this pallet wood our white stripes. And then in between we've got the ReDesign with Prima algae transfer. Now the algae transfer is a funny one because it's not one I'm particularly fond of for using, say, on the front of a dresser. But there is no other transfer that could have worked for this project. Let's see. Barbara says, how lucky to have talented mama to show you how to show him the ropes. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Me and Noah get along pretty well. So that's how it's turning out. So I will probably let you guys go to enjoy your 4th, but I wanted to show you just a family-friendly project. I wanted to show you how easy it is for kiddos to use these products as well. So we use the ReDesign chalk paste in a white. That's what he's using to stencil the stars. And that way I don't have to have him worry about stencil adhesive or anything like that. He's able to stencil really easily using their stencil brushes and the ReDesign chalk paste. And then I'm whitewashing our white stripes to go in between our red, which is the algae transfer. Let me take you guys in close so you can see. Now, I think one thing that's important to learn, and this is a learning tip for us mamas, is I had to give up a little bit of control. And this was a good project for that because I think it looks more like a homemade quilt flag. It's got rustic elements because it was done with kids' hands, and that makes it special to us. But you give up a little bit of control and they come up with their designs, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But as we go into fall for homeschooling, for summertime projects, get out your ReDesign. Get out your stencils, get out your transfers, get out your chalk pastes and paints, and let the kiddos have the freedom to create. This is just palette wood, but he came up with this idea, and I've, helped him work in stuff to it, but otherwise this idea is entirely belongs to a 12-year-old. And then he's got his leftover palette wood right down here. Can you see the leftover palette wood? So he's got leftover wood for his next project, and that could be, he could make a welcome sign, he could make, there's any variety of things he could make. So we'll see what he comes up with. Barbara, happy 4th. Thank you so much. We're gonna be home enjoying our family. We'll throw some hot dogs and hamburgers on the barbecue. Yeah, Brenda, it is a fun kid project. And these are great workshop projects too. If you run a retail shop, there are kids home for the summertime right now that have nothing to do and parents looking for stuff to do with them. I know that's the situation we're in, so don't hesitate to offer projects for kiddos too. They're really good at this stuff. It comes naturally to them. So I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to continue working on our American flag. I will post pictures of it when we are done. Noah. But happy 4th, everyone. Have a great weekend.